Welcome to Fantastic Vision. Please subscribe us before you watch today's video. At the end of December 2022, it was reported that the United States, Japan and the Netherlands had reached a tripartite agreement to implement a comprehensive containment of Chinese semiconductors, but the three countries kept secretive until March and announced that it is obvious that the three parties are fighting. In my own calculations, the attitudes of the United States and the Netherlands are completely inconsistent with those of Japan. After the formation of the tripartite alliance, Japan immediately announced the shipment of 23 items of core-making equipment involving key auxiliary materials, lithography machines, etching machines and other cores, which suddenly lowered the restricted scope to 45 nanometers. The international response is more ruthless than the United States. After Japan did everything right, the United States and the Netherlands, as allies, had mixed feelings. At the beginning, they did not want to completely lock up Chinese companies, but to control the further upgrading of technology so as to better ship their own products. Although it is aimed at Chinese semiconductors, it also opens a back door for its own companies to make shipments in order to earn more money. However, after Japan's turmoil, the Biden team had to start a matching action. In June, it planned to launch a new round of restrictions, which would involve 4G, Wi-Fi, high-performance computers, etc. After the implementation, it will completely block the path of customizing chips for the Chinese market by American companies. Knowing the inside story in advance, Intel, Qualcomm, and NVIDIA teamed up with a number of US companies to go to Washington to force the palace, which made the Biden team temporarily abandon the escalation of the ban. The trilateral alliance has begun to waver. The US chip system began to disintegrate. Semiconductor is the most cutting-edge industry in the world. No country can achieve the layout of the entire industrial chain. China can complete the mass production of 14 nanometers process so quickly, which is inseparable from the top technologies of various countries. Among them, the technologies of the United States, Japan, and the Netherlands can be said to be it runs through the entire chip manufacturing process, but their advantages are gradually destroyed in ambition. The United States is the birthplace of chip technology and holds basic technology and core patents. This is also the key to their technological hegemony. And it is quite rich in technical advantages. Before Japan was suppressed by the United States, Japan once monopolized 80% of the global market share. At that time, Toshiba, Hitachi and other companies were not comparable to Intel. As the saying goes, a thin camel is bigger than a horse. Their technical experience makes them stand out in terms of semiconductor auxiliary materials. At present, 14 of the 19 key auxiliary materials for modeling come from Japanese companies. The Netherlands can become a tumbler in the semiconductor field, thanks to the company ASML, which is currently the only manufacturer that can manufacture EUV lithography machines, which directly determines the direction of advanced technology. There is no complete autonomy. After the signing of the tripartite agreement, ASML can only ship 1980 Di equipment, which itself can meet the needs of the Chinese market. After multiple exposures, there is a chance to realize 7 nanometers process manufacturing, but this pool of water is completely confused by Japan. Japan, the limit of the technology, has been lowered to 45 nanometers, and the rescue of the United States and the Netherlands has been of no avail. The United States allows American companies to launch custom chips to the Chinese market, but it does not involve advanced technology. The alternative plan has been fully implemented. China's counterattack has not yet been fully implemented, and the tripartite alliance is in a state of self-destruction. According to customs statistics, as of July this year, the number of integrated circuit imports in China was 270.17 billion, a year-on-year decrease of 16.8%, while the import value also fell by 21.6%, leaving only $191.344 billion. It is estimated that the number of imported chips in 2023, the cut orders, will exceed 100 billion pieces. Obviously, this part basically comes from American companies. China doesn't buy it. South Korea is considered to have the foresight. At the beginning, it did not think about compromising the United States and giving up shipments to the Chinese market. However, the inability to ship high-end chips still had a great impact on Korean companies. Chips from Samsung and SK Hynix inventories hit record highs. Against such a background, Fumio Kishida is still shouting, "Let China's lithography machines become scrap iron, and the Chinese industry will become a joke without Japanese machine tools." China has cancelled 100 billion orders from Japanese companies, and who will eventually become a joke has already, it's obvious. Semiconductor manufacturers that have worked closely with the Chinese market before have announced their respective second quarter financial reports. Qualcomm's retail sales fell by 23% year-on-year, AMD's fell by 18% year-on-year, and Nikon's consolidated net profit fell by 78.3% year-on-year. From the data, it can be concluded that Chinese companies are quite disgusted with Japanese companies at this stage. The CEO of Intel has issued a warning. If you lose orders from China, then there is no need to build a global chip factory in the United States. The CEO of Nvidia also responded, "If you lose the Chinese market, there is no alternative option." Obviously, the United States has begun to waver, and China has not officially started to fight back. The tripartite alliance began to disintegrate. Next, as long as the supply of Japanese raw materials is solved, China will be able to fully realize the autonomy of mature technology. I look forward to this moment. Now that the United States wants to sell chips, it depends on China's attitude. What do you think of this?